I don't want to fall in love. I want to rise in love. Now that sounds really great, doesn't that? That sounds amazing. Of course, I want to fucking rise in love. Oh, yes, baby. But let's look at all of the ways that this very simple statement is bypassing so many of the human experiences and bypassing the essence of love. I saw this quote pop up on my newsfeed on Instagram the other day, and I've seen it many times. It's something that I've actually used in my own life, and I've heard others speak into it within my relational dynamics. And I want to touch at the depth of why there is so much that this bypasses, and that is love requires a falling. If we only want to rise in love, what that ultimately is saying and what that ultimately is putting out into the universe is that we want to bypass the entire falling aspect of it, right? We cannot rise in love if we've not descended into love first. The rise of love is directly related to our capacity of how deep we're willing to go into the shadows. The light is a reflection of the depth of shadows we're willing to explore. The feminine descends deep into the underworld, into the earth. This is where the death has to take place before we can rise, where everything we've ever known to be true has to crumble away and fall apart and deteriorate. And if we try to simply rise without the fall, our rise is not going to be anchored in like this rootedness of the earth. Right? It's not gonna have a foundation. It's not gonna have roots. It's not gonna have a pillar. It's just going to be airy fairy love. And so I'm so passionate about this. I'm so passionate about this because love is something that will sweep you off your feet, and love will love will shatter your ego. Love will break any and all illusions that you have of yourself. Any layers of self-worth, self-deservingness, they all crumble and crash. Because in love, we have to come vulnerable and open and naked and raw. And anything less is not love. It doesn't allow love to penetrate deep into our hearts and souls. So the process of love, there is a powerful descent that is required, which is the feminine diving deep under into the shadows so that the masculine can then rise. And I want to give you this example. Imagine a bow and arrow. In order for us to shoot forward, what happens? We need to pull the arrow back, which requires this tension, this pulling and pulling energy, right? We need to go back. And the farther back we go, the farther we're going to shoot forward. If you were trying to shoot an arrow from just a neutral space, it's not going to fucking go anywhere. It's just going to ploop down because it has no resistance. There's no polarity. And so it is the same with love. In order for love to take grounded, rising roots, it needs to first anchor down into the earth. We need to be with the mess of all of it. Love will have you falling flat. See, that is what love will do to you. Exactly that. Love will have you falling flat on your face. And there's nothing you can do to escape it. It will ask you to look at all of your shadows. It will ask you to look at all of the parts of you that feel unworthy. It will ask you to dive deep into the underworld and heal everything that is not love. And so, when we say, I don't want to fall in love, I just want to rise, well, that's an entire process that we just bypass. That's spiritual bypassing. Ultimately, that's what it is. The ego just wants the light and the shiny and the gold, but it doesn't actually want the raw material, right? And so if we truly want to rise in love, my invitation is, don't be afraid of everything that love will bring up. Love is a light that will illuminate all of the ickiest, murkiest, uncomfortable parts of ourselves. And it will ask us to bare our naked heart and naked soul and all of our insecurities and all of the things that we feel fear about. It will ask us to bring it all to the light. And this process is not easy. It's extremely uncomfortable. And it also requires a death. Falling in love is ultimately surrendering to the unknown, surrendering to death, because a part of us does die. The part of us that thinks it's separate dies. Because when we fall in love, ultimately we're falling back into union, right? The feminine and the masculine are falling back into union with themselves. It's coming back to the source. It's taking both of the polarities and bringing them back together. The feminine, masculine, yin, yang, light, dark, these are both essential. These are both essential. They balance and harmonize the relationship, the planet, the energies. So if we just focus on wanting to rise, but then there's no descent, it actually creates further disharmony and imbalance, not only within ourselves, but our relationships, our life, the planet at large. And so my invitation is, give yourself the permission to descend into love, to give all of you over to the power and the mystery of love, because it is a mystery. And it is not something that you can try to, put into words and compartmentalize. It's not something, love, you can't compartmentalize love. Love is a force, love is a feeling, love is a state of being, love is an energy. Love is a mystery. Love wants to be experienced, not understood. Love wants to be experienced. And love will ask you to fucking let go of everything you've ever known to be. And it's within that act of courage of us willing to die and fall that we actually realize, holy fuck, the rise that comes after the fall is something that is beyond this world. It is beyond this world. So the next time somebody says to you, I don't want to fall in love, I just want to rise, my invitation is to bring this awareness to them. And to also to yourself, if that's something that's been part of your own life. And to know that as above, so below. As above, so below. And here, in the center is you, your heart. Your heart. Okay, I think that's it for today. I just wanted to come on and share that because I think it's just important. These conversations are so important. As we are learning what love is, we're learning how we want to experience love within our own unique experience with ourselves. As a collective, we're all learning what love is, because love has been so tainted and so toxic for so many of us. You know, what we thought was love was not love. It was toxic, and it was codependency, and it was manipulative. And so as a collective, we're relearning the essence of love and the purity of love, and we're discovering and getting curious about this together. And so I hope that this video can just shed and illuminate some light onto how I see love, and you know, what true love really asks of us and requires of us, for us to fully embody it deeply within our souls, so that it can emanate from this deeper pillar inside of us, right? So that the roots are really strong, and that the stronger the roots are of a tree, the more that tree is going to bloom up and out and allow others to experience the magic of whatever that tree has to offer, which is breath, life, fruit. It offers so much to everybody else. So the more that you can ground your roots into love, into the shadows, the unknown, the more that love will rise up. It is inevitable. It is the nature of law. It is the law of nature. It is the law of nature. It is the law of God. These polarities exist for a very powerful purpose. So let's not bypass them. Let's not try to make one more important than the other, because they're both essential in their union, in their rising. They're both essential in their expansion here on the planet. I'm sending you all so much love. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. If you haven't, and if you connect and resonate with my energy, my messages, my channel, I would love it if you subscribed, and if you feel called to share your experience and your take on this. I would love for you to write in the comments, and I love communicating and, you know, building that relationship and getting these conversations going, because it's so important and such a beautiful space for us to learn together. So thank you so much for being here. I love you, and sending you the most beautiful day. Mwah!